grassy plateaus and safe shallows. For today's episode, well, I do go down to the jelly shrimp caves a bit, but those are also relatively safe, so it's okay. Nothing big and scary to be afraid of in this episode. Although, I was thinking I would go to the Aurora in part 3, because it seems like I'll need to go there soon anyway. So, next episode might be a bit scarier. Okay, let's find another data entry here. So we can read of the Aurora ship status. The Aurora is the ship that crashed, or the ship, I don't want to say any spoilers, the ship that was destroyed and has left us on this planet. All of the wreckages we find are from the Aurora ship. So this big wreckage right now, it was part of the Aurora at one point and fell off during explosion. So Aurora ship status. Oh, this is actually about who was manning the Aurora and what was on it. Okay. So ship class, Alterra long range capital ship. Mission, Ariadne arm phase gate installation. 3-year operation time. So I guess the Ariadne arm is part of the galaxy that they were going to install a phase gate in, so that they could get there easier, quicker. And it was supposed to take 3 years to do this. The crew consisted of command team, 23 employees, the engineering team, 85, and the support crew, 40, and then passengers. There were nine passengers who weren't working on the ship. Status: sustained heavy damage in orbit of planet 4546b. Cause unknown. Evacuation data unavailable. Engineering section: dark matter ion drive core V8. Manned robotics suit. Advanced scanner suit. Long range communications relay. 0.25 cubic kilometer storage for phase gate apparatus. Long range communication relay, that's what we'll be looking for. I think they've already sent out a long range communication relay, and now that's why we're getting these messages from the Sunbeam. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Habitation section. Accommodation for 150 people. Multiple canteens serving healthy, fresh, and rehydrated food. Leisure facilities, including VR suit and virtual cinema. Sounds like the Aurora was a decent ship to spend your time on, as long as the people weren't too, I don't know, annoying to work with. I think once we get to the Aurora, we can pick up some of the crew's PDAs, and there's a few that reveal a little bit about like the services for them, believe it or not. Let's see. How about I read about the Handheld Scanner. The scanner is an extremely useful tool to have in Subnautica. It's probably one of the first tools that I craft, and it helps you learn about the game, and it also advances the story and stuff. Anyway, let's read about what Alterra has to say about their invention. It's just called the Handheld Scanner. The essential science and survival tool. The scanner can be used to add new blueprints to memory and analyze unknown entities. It emits electromagnetic radiation in the specified direction, which is reflected by the environment and then analyzed to determine the physical makeup of the targeted object. It has 4 primary functions. Number 1, blueprint acquisition. Record the physical parameters of scanned technologies to add their blueprints to the PDA databank. These blueprints may be constructed at the appropriate fabricator. The scanner is also equipped to break down damaged and otherwise useless devices into their base metals for salvage purposes. 2. Organism analysis. The scanner will attempt to match scanned organisms against the onboard database. If no match is found, then the species will be assigned an easy-to-remember name, and a new databank entry will be created. Your PDA's AI will also attempt to synthesize theories on behavioral tendencies and evolutionary origins where possible, as well as deliver assessments on how best to approach them. 3. Medical analysis. Scanning any living organism will display basic information on their state of health on the scanner's HUD. This information will be limited without access to a network database. 4. Self-scan. The user may run a self-scan to determine their own physical well-being. The scanner will search for foreign bacteria and other signs of ill health, and compare with available data to provide a diagnosis. And then the little there's just not too much background noise for you guys. I want to read about the Seamoth, but I think we'll start with the Seaglide because it's a shorter data entry. So the Seaglide is a personal transportation device designed for use in oceanic environments, capable of speeds up to 36 kilometers per hour in standing water, displays basic topographical data for aid in charting cave systems, replaceable battery, keeps fingers clear of propeller. That should not be a feature, that should just be a basic. That's not a feature, Alterra. That's not a feature. And the slogan, the Seaglide, anything that moves faster underwater is probably trying to eat you. Okay, how is that approved? Anything that moves faster underwater than the Seaglide is probably trying to eat you. Okay, I mean, it's not like they're wrong, but how is that supposed to make me want to buy it? I love that. It's so clever. Okay, now we can read about the Seamoth because my brain wouldn't let me before. The Seamoth is a one-person vehicle with an independent, replaceable power cell fitted in the rear and a fully customizable design. Once we get the moon pool, trust me, we will be designing or customizing the Seamoth to our likeness, or to whatever we deem good. You guys should probably give me names for the Seamoth in the comments if you want to try and have a say in it. I'll probably just pick whatever I like the most. Anyway, the Seamoth is a one-person vehicle with an independent, replaceable power cell fitted in the rear and a fully customizable design. Low-power, multi-directional thrusters enable it to function equally well in sea or space environments. Oh, I would love that as much as I love, like, the Subnautica. It would feel wrong to have a Subnautica game that's not underwater, but it would be really cool to use the Seamoth in space. Most long-range vessels carry at least 2 vehicles of this class to facilitate the exploration and exploitation of small astronomical bodies. However, they can also be fabricated at a standard mobile vehicle bay. Ratings: top speed 13 meters per second, acceleration 5 meters per second, distance per power cell 10 kilometers, crush depth 200 meters below sea level, upgrade module slots 4, dimensions 3 meters by 1.5 meters by 1 meter, person 1. Seamoths may be modified by installing upgrade modules to the access points mounted on the wing. These include increased cargo storage, superior power, pressure and collision compensation, enhanced sonar, and defensive capabilities. These modules may only be manufactured at a moon pool outfitted with a vehicle modification station. So very soon, once we get the moon pool, we will be increasing the pressure and collision compensation. We will be getting enhanced sonar and superior power, and possibly defensive capabilities. Almost definitely defensive capabilities. We're gonna see some scary stuff later. And the slogan for the Seamoth is, the Seamoth, it goes anywhere but land. Thank you, Alterra. Very cool. captures or whatever it does, so that you don't die from radiation exposure from that. So there you go. Thank you, Alterra. That's actually a pretty useful one. I guess these are all very useful tools. Some of them just sound a little goofy, and I don't know how much I can trust their usage. It seems like a lot of them break a lot of the time. I don't know. Luckily not for us. It's almost like it was destiny or something. So next we will read the short entry for the mobile vehicle bay. The mobile vehicle bay is a deployable station equipped with fabrication drones designed to construct small research and exploration vehicles from raw materials. It is a common tool in almost all industrial, scientific, and colonization operations. Finding the mobile vehicle bay was such a pain in my first playthrough, and now it's almost really easy every time. But it is extremely useful, and you need it for basically all progression throughout the game. So next, we'll do the laser cutter. I haven't built it yet, but I'm about to. The ultra-high frequency laser cutter is tuned specifically to cut through titanium and plasteel-based materials at a thickness of up to 10 centimeters. This makes it an essential tool for construction, salvage, and rescue operations, but ineffective on natural obstacles. The slogan is, "The Alterra laser cutter, who called the locksmith." What? I really want to talk to whoever wrote these slogans. They're so funny. Okay. Next, we have the habitat builder. That's a good one. The Alterra handheld habitat builder has been an essential tool of xenoscientists, colonists, and emergency relief crews across 11 different transgovs for more than 50 years. I guess transgovernments. I'm not sure. Habitat modules are hermetically sealed from the outside environment, built on land, underwater, or in a vacuum. The more they talk about that, the more I want to do all of this in space. Habitats can be enhanced to become long-term homes, remote research stations, defensive outposts, and more. Quick start guide. 1. Select the eye compartment from the builder menu and place it somewhere opportune. 2. Add a hatch to access the compartment. 3. Build a solar panel to power the habitat's oxygen generator. 4. Construct useful interior modules like radios, rechargers, and storage solutions. Primary habitat systems like oxygen generation and flood control, as well as modules like the Fabricator system can scan for and pinpoint particular materials. Remotely controlled drones scan the area up to 500 meters in range. Wall-mounted camera feeds allow for live control of scouting drones. Upgrade console may be used to enhance the module's functions. So yeah, there's a few upgrades for the scanner room that you can get, which are super useful. It gives you these kind of drone cameras that you can, like it said, move around up to 500 meters. So you can kind of explore from your base. And those are really cool, but the stalkers love them. Those fish just want to eat metal. I don't know, I guess they're like the crows of 4546B. They just really love shiny metal. I guess that's their thing. So they will steal your cameras, and they have beacons on them so you can go find them. But they just get stolen continuously if you leave them out. So beware of the stalkers if you're using cameras for your scanner room. But the scanner room's super useful for a lot of other stuff too, because you can get like modifications into your HUD as well, that are like part of the scanner room. So you can select something like limestone outcrops or metal salvage or whatever it is, and the scanner room will just like identify it on your HUD, and you can go directly to it, and that's super, super useful if you're looking for a certain material that is hard to find with your eyeballs. So yeah, the scanner room's really awesome, but we don't have it yet. We do have the bioreactor, so let's read the data entry for that. On planets where organic matter is plentiful but sunlight is not, a reliable bioreactor will frequently prove the most efficient power solution. May be installed in any multi-purpose habitat room. Chemically compose organic materials, converting them into energy over time. Accepts all plant matter from seeds and spores to moldy fruits and vegetables. Can also process animal matter, fat, muscle, eggs, etc., and some organic waste products. Energy production is proportionate to the calories in the organic matter. And the slogan is, the bioreactor, totally organic. So I have the bioreactor right now. I could have solar panels, but the bioreactor I think just is a little better. It has more power, so it makes more sense. Once there is a nuclear reactor, I think, that you can install, but I don't have the blueprints for that yet, so I'll have to wait. I could read the data entry for the solar panel. Solar power is the most prevalent power source in the galaxy, and so it is no accident that the standard solar panel is the default means of powering a habitat. A power source is a requirement of habitat oxygen generators and other onboard modules. Provides limited power for small outposts and survival habitats. May be mounted on or near the habitat itself, or placed remotely and connected via power transmitters. Power rate relative to sunlight exposure. So solar panels are super useful really, really early on, but I could already build a bioreactor, so I just went straight for that. Yeah, there's also the thermal plant, which I can't remember if I have that or not. I've never actually used it in Subnautica at all. I don't know why. I guess I just went to the bioreactor and then the nuclear reactor, and then the thermal plant was just left out. But I surviving on 4546b is meant to be a dormant volcano caldera thing. So when you go deeper underground, deeper underwater in this game, eventually will reach a very hot part of the crater. So I believe according to the lore, like thousands, if not millions of years ago, this area was all volcanoes or underwater volcanoes that have been dormant for a very, 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 very long time. And since then, the kind of heat, the thermal energy that is produced from the core of the planet has supported life on the crater for that long. But I'm not, like, take that with a grain of salt. If you know the specifics, please tell me in the comments. I would love to know. But I do believe that the crater is meant to be an inactive volcano, and that's why thermal plants and thermal energy are so useful to have in this game, especially when you go deeper. They're very useful. Very, 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 very useful. So that's why I read about the thermal plant. The Alterra thermal plant, or the thermal power plant. It's hot. Okay. Just exploring. I thought I'd build a vending machine already. Because, I don't know, it's fun. I think it's cool. And it's kind of useful to have, but it's mostly just fun to have. Okay. So next, I'll read the data entry for the Modification Station. Modification Station. Where the standard Fabricator atomically rearranges raw materials to form complex devices, the Mod Station is able to combine complex devices to enhance their functions. Most industrial vessels are fitted with a complement of equipment modification stations, which enable engineers to adapt their tools on the fly. To conserve hard drive space, the Modification Station is excluded by default from most personal emergency blueprint libraries. However, extreme environments such as ocean and desert class planets may necessitate the adaptation of basic survival tools for unanticipated applications. For this reason, access to a mod station is always recommended. It's always recommended, but they won't provide it for you automatically. Okay. I have some geological data about the planet that I could read about. I don't think I read the overall environment scan for 4546b. So let's do that. So like right when you land on the planet, I guess, the PDA does like a full environment scan of the planet, the best scan that they can. So this is the 4546b environment scan. It's a category 3 ocean planet with an oxygen/nitrogen atmosphere, or rich atmosphere, extensive biodiversity, safety warnings, may support Leviathan class predators, water contaminated with high levels of foreign bacteria, planet is beyond Federation space, rescue unlikely. It is not recommended to explore this environment without hazardous material suits and extensive support apparatus. Water contaminated with high levels of foreign bacteria, you say? Very, very interesting. So that's the basics that we understand about this planet. morally prohibited to use metal salvage to escape an emergency situation. Alterra, what's going on, guys? Why are you guys like this? So that's what we know about the metal salvage. And also I have some other, like the shale outcrops and the magnetite, but we haven't been to the jelly shroom cave yet, so I don't want to read those ones. It doesn't feel fair. I have some other stuff about other tools and stuff that I can read out next instead. Okay, so what else do I have on my list of data entries here? We've done the Seamoth, the scanner room, the habitat builder. Let's see. Some of this stuff we haven't unlocked yet, so I didn't put it on my list. But there is some stuff we are about to unlock that I could read instead. Like the Propulsion Cannon, which I believe we've scanned like 2 or 3 or maybe 1 fragment of the Propulsion Cannon. But we're gonna read about it anyway, because we will get it at some point, I believe, at the end of this episode. The Propulsion Cannon allows technicians to manipulate gravitational forces at ranges of up to 20 meters. Quite impressive. It is commonly used in construction and mining to move materials. Operating instructions. Pull the trigger once to lock onto and attract a single targeted object weighing less than 25 kilograms. The object can now safely be retrieved from the gravitational beam. Alternatively, pull the trigger a second time to propel the object at speed away from the device. Not recommended for use on organic subjects. I wouldn't think so. It sounds kind of like the gravity gun from Half-Life 2. And here is the slogan: the prop cannon. Some species are telekinetic. For everyone else, there's Alterra. That's very clever. I like they call it the prop cannon. And also some species are telekinetic. What do you mean, Alterra? I want to know how far humanity has gotten. Clearly far enough for them to have all this stuff and to be exploring space at a crazy rapid rate. But still, what about the telekinetic species? I want to talk to them. Or I want to think at them. Or whatever. Anyway, that's the propulsion cannon. I don't mean to get so passionate about these things. I get too excited about Subnautica. Anyway, we'll find another thing to read here. I also have the Stasis Rifle, which I believe I build at the end of this episode as well. The Stasis Rifle uses patented technology to slow time around an entity to as near to a full stop as the laws of physics will permit, essentially anchoring the target in place without affecting its internal workings. It is designed to facilitate scientific and engineering life's fast. Why not put it on pause? Like the opposite of all other advice that is given to you when people say life is fast. Not Alterra. They're different. They're special and scary. Let's see. I also have some data entries about some other things that you can build inside the multi-purpose room. Like the interior Growbed. I was surprised there wasn't an entry for this at all. But it says, designed for use exclusively inside regulated habitat modules. The interior Growbed is more compact than the outdoor version and features a hydroponic nutrient delivery system. So that's cool. I don't really know what that means, but that's cool. It makes me think of Brax from The Expanse. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's a TV show. I think there's also books. It's based on the books. And Brax is a character in it who is a botanist, kind of, but he lives in space. He's from the moon, Ganymede, and I can't remember exactly which planet Ganymede orbits. It must be Jupiter. It's gotta be Jupiter anyway. He is a space botanist man, and his whole thing is that he has to grow plants in, not in space, not in the vacuum of space, but outside of Earth with soil and stuff that might not be as good as Earth's. So he would be very interested in the hydroponic nutrient delivery system that the interior Growbed boasts to have. I'm sure it's very good. There's also the exterior Growbed, and advanced synthetic soils allow this Growbed to support a huge variety and quantity of alien plant life, and it can be installed anywhere on land or underwater where there is space. So we use the exterior Growbed quite a bit because, especially in the later game, you have to get certain plant life from biomes that aren't necessarily safe to be in. So it's easier to take that plant life and bring it back to your home or your base and then grow it in your exterior Growbed, and then you don't have to continuously go back to whatever scary biome you got it from, and you can just have it at your house, and it's very, very useful. So those are the Growbeds. You can also get little pots, like little potted, very, very small Growbeds, even smaller than the interior one. And yeah, they're just small. They're very good for decoration and stuff, or for use on the Cyclops submarine later on in the game. They also had an entry for the Bulkhead Door, which again, I just thought, why? But whatever. We're gonna read it. I don't think I have any bulkhead doors on my base yet. I just have a hatch. But maybe you will see one later on. The Bulkhead Door is designed to separate compartments while reinforcing structural integrity with its solid titanium frame. The door can be opened and closed to seal off compartments in the event of very useful. Kind of like an easy place to get some more advanced elements and materials. Another thing that you can find just kind of lying around in the Jellyshroom Cave, not in an outcrop or anything, is magnetite. Also these oculuses. But magnetite, it will be very useful, and it will be everywhere. Magnetite seen yet, and that's why I kind of saved the still suit for last. So hopefully in the next coming episodes, as we discover more stuff, I will read out data entries related to those things. Because I just don't really want to reveal a bunch of spoilers, even though people watching this probably already know about them. I still want to keep somewhat of a mystery up about what's going on here. And I don't want to just reveal everything in the second part. So yeah, that's all the data entries I have. The last things that we have to get in this episode are the Propulsion Cannon and the Stasis Rifle. The Propulsion Cannon is not a necessity necessarily on the Aurora, but it is very useful for sure. So that's why I'm getting it, so that we're prepared in the next episode. The Stasis Rifle, kind of the same. It's not a necessity to have on the Aurora, but it's a kind of precaution, I figured anyway. So right now we have to make a computer chip, which is not hard to make, but it's a little bit more advanced than the stuff that we were making in the first part. Computer chip, computer chip, computer chip, computer chip. We need gold, 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 table coral, table coral, table coral, and copper wire, copper wire, copper, 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 copper wire. And for the Stasis Rifle, we need one battery, battery. The computer chip that we're about to craft or fabricate, and I think that's one magnetite. I'm kind of far away from the monitor, maybe it's two, but see, boom, there's magnetite. And some titanium, versus the propulsion cannon, which we need a battery, a wiring kit, and some titanium for. We keep receiving messages from the other life pods, so we're gonna have to go explore those at some point in the future as well. We'll probably visit a few of those in the next part, if I don't take a very long time on the Aurora. I was so afraid to go to the Aurora on my first playthrough, just because I didn't know what was gonna be there. It's not that bad. It's kind of scary, but it's not that bad. So it's gonna be exciting to go there for sure. Lots of useful stuff to find on the Aurora. Now we shall craft our Stasis Rifle and our Propulsion Cannon. Propulsion obvious, you know, they push up all that sand and then they come at you, but the biters really feel like they come out of nowhere. And now I'm down a little bit of health, but not enough health to like have a med kit or anything. Just a little bit that it's annoying. Biters, 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 biters. Biters, biters. And I think they attack your Seamoth. But I don't know that for sure. I just know that when I leave my Seamoth in the grassy plateaus, sometimes I come back to it and it's a bit damaged. Not super damaged, but just a little bit. I'm like, are the biters trying to eat the glass or something? I don't know. Special aliens. Seaglide. 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 Get some acid mushrooms. Acid mushrooms. Acid mushrooms. And I'm probably gonna end this here. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you'll stick around for the next one when we explore the Aurora. This episode was just kind of a lot of gathering materials and scanning more stuff that will be very useful in the future. So things will get more exciting from here, I promise. It won't all just be